All right, his career shifting it to high gear now with the fast-paced sequel, Too Fast, Too Furious. Here he is, Paul O'Wallach.
Good, how you doing?
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. So what's going on, buddy?
Big story.
Yeah, apparently
What
there's
do we got
some kind of mix-up. You got my package and I got yours. The stage manager asked me to give this to you.
Gentlemen, I'm gonna... All right.
Were those Julian's panties?
Big story in the paper yesterday here in New York about all the guys, not all of them, but a few guys have turned down this, I guess would be a coveted role in the new Superman movie. And guess who was invited to star as Superman?
Of course.
Paul Walker. And so why did you walk away from that?
Scared.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
Well,
Really?
a lot of people say there's a curse on that role. A lot of people.
Yeah, I don't know about the curse. It wasn't a straight offer, to be honest with you. It was one of those situations
You
where
were considered
yeah,
for it,
I was a contender, but no, a lot of people brought that up. I don't know, it's just scary. It was a long-term commitment, you know.
That's right.
And,
2 sequels after that, right?
yeah, so I was looking at 7 years of
And
being
plus
Superman.
the outfit.
Yes, man.
Well, if you do decide to take it and you need this, call me.
Appreciate it. Appreciate that.
So, Paulie, here you are on the cover of Cosmo Girl. Teenage girls love you, man.
I think all women in general.
Yeah, sure. Now, you've got a little girl yourself, don't you? A little 4-year-old daughter?
Yeah, 4.5.
It's kind of changed your life a little bit, huh?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Does she know that you're a movie star?
Actually, we've been hiding it from her for the longest time. And it wasn't too long ago that she said, I actually got a phone call from her mother, and her mother said, yeah, Paul, there's a problem. I said, what's that? She's like, Meadow. Meadow's my daughter's name. She goes, Meadow thinks she sees your face on the side of a bus. And I said, well, she does. And she said, no, but she doesn't. I was like, oh, that's right. So anyways, her friends blew it for her. She said, hey,
Her
you know your
friends
dad?
told her,
Oh, yeah.
right?
So now she comes over one day and she's, Daddy, you're in Fast and the Furious. And I was like, hey, so where did this come from? So then it was, figure it out. So I had to do my little bit. It ended up being Kaylee. Her friend Kaylee told her.
Well, they're smarter than you think.
The best, though, was one time I had her actually come on set with me. We were doing some green screen work in Los Angeles for the same movie. And she thought I was a mechanic for the longest time. 'Cause, I'm really into cars. I'm always wrenching on cars and that sort of thing. So I bring her to work, and my assistant comes along with me, and I'm like, hey, buddy, look, just watch after her in the trailer. I'm going to run in. I'm going to do this real quick. I'll be right back. It's funny how she misses me. She doesn't like the trailer or whatever, so they walk in the set, and she sees me. I'm in this car. There's this big green screen behind me, and, I'm driving around. She sees all these cameras, and, Daddy, what are you doing? So I jumped out of the car real quick, naturally. I'm like, oh, I'm just working on the car. We'll be out of here in 2 minutes.
Keep that a secret, huh? So you're into cars, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jerry Seinfeld wants me to get in a Porsche. Is that good for me, guy like me?
Don't you think Regis can handle a Porsche?
Yeah, don't get a Boxster, though.
No, not a Boxer. What is it, a Carrera?
911 Carrera.
Carrera?
Yeah,
Porsche Carrera.
Cabriolet is a convertible.
Is that good?
Right. Is that the one he needs?
Is that the one I would look good in?
Yeah, I think that'd be good for you.
Yeah, I can handle that, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you drive in real life? Regis wants to drive what you're driving.
What kind of car do you
don't want to drive it?
Yeah, what is it? What is it? Like I can't handle it. What is it?
I don't think you could, Regis.
Well, what is
honestly.
it?
No, I have my favorite car is a Nissan Skyline R34 V-Spec 2.
What is that?
Gelman, check that out right away.
No, it's this car. I had it imported from Japan. It's like the Ferrari of Japanese cars with steering wheels on the right-hand side. And mine's currently putting out almost 900 horse at the rear wheels.
Wow.
Are you allowed to drive that around the streets?
Kind of.
Really?
No kidding. Is there a ban on it?
No, actually, I had to undergo a bunch of series of tests to be EPA, to be smog certified.
Sure.
I had to put side impact beams in the doors. And
Oh my gosh. Usually the actor who's into a role is not really know much about the role until he does it, but you seem like an authority on cars.
I got lucky.
Wow. So this is a sequel to the first one, right? Well, you in the first one as well, of course, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So is this one as good as the first one? Because the first one got a lot of...
What do you think I'm going to tell you?
It's better.
I want you to be honest.
Now, see, I'm not a salesperson. I'm the worst. But honestly, like the first one, especially the car fans, the kids are really into it. They loved it because they love seeing the cars racing around.
Sure.
And all the races in the first time, they're all quarter-mile races, so all the races were in a straight line. And a quick quarter mile is maybe 11 seconds.
Right.
And somehow in the movie, we managed to stretch that into 4 or 5 minutes, and no one even raised an eyebrow.
Right, sure.
So this time around, you know, I think the racing sequences, which is what I like about the movie, I just think it's a lot more visual. I think it's a lot more fun to watch.
Oh, that's great.
Super.
It's terrific. We had Tyrese here the other day.
He's a good guy.
Good guy. We'll be right back with Paul. With the star of Too Fast, Too Furious, Paul Walker, whose family is quite an interesting heritage here. Grandfather, one of the grandfathers, raced cars, right?
Right.
Was he a big deal?
No, I mean, it was a big deal to him. Sure. His life was crazy. I mean, he served in the Korean War. He served in World War II. At 18 years old, he actually he commandeered a tank battalion under Patton.
Oh, boy.
And then and then he got into
never
racing
got
cars.
over it, huh?
No, he just didn't. You guys, he picked up all the mechanic skills, I think, doing that. And then my grandfather, on my father's side, actually was he's a Pearl Harbor survivor, and he fought for the middleweight championship of the world twice in Madison Square Gardens.
No
as a middleweight.
kidding.
Oh my God.
What was his first name?
His name is Paul Walker. He's Paul Walker II. And but he fought under Irish Billy Walker.
Irish Billy Walker, yeah. Boy, you come from a tough heritage there.
Yeah, I wish I would have gotten some of that.
Yeah, you don't box, do you? Not with your face. You should never get hit in the face.
My father, actually, believe it or not, also fought. He was amateur, so growing up around the house, I'm sure you can imagine, always had the heavy bag and the speed bag in the backyard and doing that sort of thing.
Maybe one day you can play a boxer.
Anyway, this is the sequel to the first one, right? And you're still an undercover agent, are you?
I'm more or less a fugitive. I'm running from the police because in the first one, I let the Vin Diesel character go. And so I'm in trouble. So
okay. So now they're chasing you.
Exactly.
All right. So in this particular scene, you're driving the car, or did you have a stunt double drive? Anything for you, Mr. Big Shot?
No, I wish I could say I did it all, but actually, a childhood friend of mine. His name's Oakley Lehman. Our mothers actually went to high school together. He's my stunt double. So I got to drive a lot, but I like to think because we have roots, he made me look that much cooler.
Awesome.
All right, fine. Let's take a look at a clip now. Here you are, street racing when the unexpected happens.
How you like that for a finale?
Great scene, great editing, good everything.
And yes, we'll mention you should not try that at home.
Yeah. But if you do, be sure to wear your helmet. You didn't have a helmet on. What kind of example are you for Cosmo Girl?
It's funny. That was actually a thing that we got into at one point. And they're like, you know what? We're going to make this movie. Maybe we should have everyone wear helmets. And I don't know who came up with that idea, but then the problem was, and I thought it was pretty obvious, it's like, well, we're not going to be able to see their faces.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
gotta see
so
the
much for the helmet idea.
Well, it opens today. Too Fast, Too Furious. Paul, thank you very, very much. Good luck to you, buddy.
Good to have you here,
Go
Paul.
back with Frankie Munoz. Malcolm in the middle. He's here. He's back.